I believe that we were all created in God's image. And I believe that we were each given a unique and special purpose that's straight from his heart. The only challenge is I don't think we all know what that is all the time. It's difficult to find our purpose because it doesn't match up to the world or to the people on our left or the people to our right. We get caught up in comparison rather than getting to live the unique way that we were created for. And our desire with the Culture Purple is to help you live out every purpose and dream you were created for. Because a lot of those things are hidden within and we don't know how to pull them out. I often think of like a caterpillar to a butterfly. Those wings were inside the caterpillar the entire time, and yet it's just inching along until it goes into its cocoon with its creator. It's almost like a rabbit hole. Once it dives deep in that place, it comes out the other side with new wings, where every butterfly's wings has different patterns, different colors, and different shapes. It's the same for us, and those are the things that we're created to soar upon. That's what we want to help bring out for you. And so with this activation and exercise, we're going to be doing, just today, I'm going to introduce it to you. But in future episodes, I'm going to break it down for you. We're going to do samples to help you find those pieces in you. Because we all have a different piece. And we're each called to reach people that others aren't going to reach. We're each going to carry something to a different part of the world in ways that are different than those around us. And that's not only okay, it's a good thing. That's how we reach the world. That's how we have a greater impact, is through those unique differences that are from our Creator's heart. So if we can help you extract those, that's one of the greatest ways we can create multiplication of impact. So in this activation, what it's designed to do is to realize that finding our purpose isn't always about a destination. It's not always about an end, like a straight line going to one spot, like many of us think that it is. In fact, sometimes it feels like we have all these jumbled parts in us that are spread out and don't configure and don't make sense together. And so that's where we go, how do I put this together? The reality is it's not this straight line, but sometimes it's a little bit more like a connect the dots puzzle. You find these different pieces that you have in your heart and spirit, and you learn to connect the dots because it isn't a line to a destination. It's a picture of who you are and how that's supposed to make an impact in the world. So the way we start to do that, we have a number of categories listed here, but right now we're going to look at 6 main categories, which are the discovery categories. And they start with dream, then compassion, passion, purpose, nations, and first steps. Dream is big picture. It's what do you want to give to the world? Compassion is who does your heart break for? What are you naturally drawn to? It might even be when you're watching a movie, you find yourself tear up at similar times in similar kinds of movies. Passion is simply what do you love to do? Purpose is how will you do it? Nations is where. It might be your nation, it might be your community, it might be an African nation or an Asian nation. And first steps is very simple, but how will you get started? It's even drawing up generic ideas of how do you just take those first steps to create momentum. And so when you look at a dream, it might be that you want to give hope to the world. You might want to give new ideas and inventions. You might want to give employment. You might want to give love or second chances. Compassion, is it for at-risk youth? Is it for widows? Is it for those impacted by illness and disease? Is it those impacted by addiction? Oftentimes, who we have compassion for is those that have gone through something similar to us, or those who are going through something that someone close to us has gone through. Because we have a part of our heart that just has a natural ache for it. And by having an ache or a love for that area, we have a greater authority to affect change in that place because we've walked through it ourselves or with someone near us. Passion, it's to make an impact in the world. You don't have to get rid of what you love to do. It can be technology, it can be sports, it can be music or media, you name it. Purpose, you might open a facility, you might become a mentor or a coach or a teacher, you might travel or raise up resources to send. Nations, all of us have a part of where we live, of our nation or another nation, where our heart just beats for, or for a people group or a culture. And for steps, it might be as simple as finding a mentor, or writing out a goal or a plan, or starting to study your compassion. But really what we then try to do is First, we unlock each of these categories to find where it is for you. And then next, we learn to connect the dots. So maybe your dream is to give hope to orphans through art by opening up a facility in an Asian nation. And your first steps is to write out a goal or a plan. You might not find anywhere in the world that lays out a path like that, but that path is already laid out inside of you. And there's so many different versions of that, and that's what we want to help you bring to life. We want to help you dream again and to find your purpose.